Today on the blog, on this video, we are going to be talking about seam rippers. These guys, they come in all shapes and sizes, and you might not know how to use it the right way, or you might just want to talk about all the different kinds of seam rippers. So keep watching, head over to the blog, let's talk.
So I like this one because it is designed to be ergonomic. So it has a good hand feel. It's got these two flat spots right here and on the other side right here to give your hand a nice place to rest, and then it just feels good in your hand. So you don't have to pick them out with your fingers. There's a link obviously for this one if you like it. It's just called, you could also just Google ergonomic seam ripper, and this one is guaranteed to come up. You can get it at Joann. That's where I got all of mine, multiple, because I keep ordering them, like I said, and losing them and then having to get them again. So that's the seam ripper. We're going to talk about it right now. So I'm going to work on this. It's just something I sewed to show you how to seam rip it, because there's a couple things I wanted you to be able to see with the dark thread. That's why I did that. And I left the pretty part of the fabric on the outside. So there's two things. There's unpicking and seam ripping. And so right now we don't have any openings, and so it's kind of hard. We just don't want to go in gangbusters in here to rip the seams. So you might need to unpick first, which is what? I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to start over at this end. Unpicking is simply, well, you can do it a couple ways. On the front, just get your ripper underneath and rip the seam right like that. And then you can see we kind of are just going to pick it, and you can keep doing that. That way will get you a lot of tiny little threads. So we don't want that. What we're really doing is just trying to make a spot. And when you're first starting out, seam ripping might be to you just sticking your thing in, ripping a few threads like so, and then pulling. That's how I did it for a very long time. So sticking it in and pulling. That works. It's fine. But the best way, if you're able and capable and want to, is to hold your seam ripper so that your little red dot faces down into your project like so, and your pointy end faces up out of your project. And then all you have to do is just pull. You can see this is much quicker than the other way if it didn't fall out. And I'm making it look harder than it actually is because I'm trying to hold it in front of my camera, which is not easy. So that gets it out a lot quicker, as you can see. And sometimes, like here where I've backstitched and there's an extra stitch, it's a little bit more difficult. So that's why when picking might come into play. And then you can continue with your red bit down, pulling your fabric as you go, like so. I promise you will perfect seam ripping because you're going to do it a lot. We all do it all the time. So there's no shame in having a good seam ripping game, okay? And then these are those threads I was talking about that come right out. It's better on a hard surface, but you can see these threads come right out with this rubber end of my seam ripper. And it leaves me a nice clean area, see, like that. These, not so clean because I haven't done it. And then if you haven't seen my other video talking specifically about the seam ripper, this is the Riley Blake, I think it's called Cindy's seam ripper, little seam ripper, something like that. Don't quote me. I threw the package away, but I'll link to it. So you will be able to find it. So it goes on just like this. I think I wasn't able to find any tutorials on it to figure out exactly how it works. And people don't tend to show you videos of themselves seam ripping because for some reason we're embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed. I seam rip pretty much every time I sit down. So it goes on your finger like this. I've got the pointy end here and the red end is facing away from me. Then I'm going to turn my hand. I have a spot here for my middle and maybe two or if you have small fingers, 3 fingers there underneath. That's a flat spot for those. And my thumb can go right here. I actually find this one pretty easy to use because you're not actually holding anything. You're just kind of, it's almost like you're just holding the fabric. Give myself a little start there. Like so. And we've come all the way away. So I give this one a big thumbs up too, but look at it. Do you think I'm gonna be able to keep track of this? I can't even keep track of this. So I like it. If you're good at keeping track of things and you don't have a crazy, insane craft room, this one is a big plus. I'm gonna put it up on my pink shelf with my pink fabric, and hopefully I'll keep track of it. Maybe I need to put it on a necklace or something. I don't know. But that's how you seam rip. That's what the little red ball is for. You're actually supposed to use it for seam ripping. Hey, but if you're just picking and ripping, picking and pulling, like I showed you at the beginning, that's totally cool too. The goal is to get your seams out without ruining your fabric. And yeah, you can do that with whatever method works for you. Have a great day.